All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on how this petrol crisis is revealing the demons on these people and how evil they are, right? And how it's going to also lead to the army being brought in to guard and protect fuel, and like to be based around certain places that you would not normally expect them to be, man. It's a plan that's been used to bring army soldiers in to like certain places like supermarkets and places of that nature. Because let me just read a bit of this anyway. It says petrol crisis forces thousands of commuters to wait for help, while stranded teachers warn of a return to Zoom lessons, as Boris calls in army to drive tankers after motorists chase fuel trucks and queue for pumps from 5 a.m. So people are getting really like aggressive in their thirst for fuel, man. Like they're following fuel trucks and queuing up outside petrol stations from 5 a.m. when a lot of petrol stations normally, certain ones anyway, some are 24 hours, but certain ones like open like maybe like 7 a.m. So they're queuing from way before they need to in order to get petrol, man, which is going to obviously cause big queues and cause road disturbances. But people are getting really aggressive over this fuel, and this is how they are over fuel. But the worst one where people are going to really get extremely aggressive is going to be when it's over food, because you can live without fuel. You can live without toilet rolls, but you can't live without food. And that's the one that's really going to cause for people to get truly aggressive, man. Let me scroll down a bit and read this. It says, Petrol Retailers Associate sad panic buying had caused serious problems with 90% now out of fuel. Boris Johnson is considering calling in the army to deliver fuel to petrol stations running dry across the UK. And there's a lot of supermarket petrol stations. I know Morrison's, all of the 4 like main stores over in the UK have their own petrol stations, as the Sainsbury's, Morrison's and Tesco. And just like how they could have them there, well, they can be like, well, we may as well have them outside of the supermarkets as well, because there's problems in there. Because this fuel crisis is also going to end up leading to a food shortage. But people was not expecting this to happen. People was not expecting this to happen, man. But it's ultimately it's prophecy according to the scriptures. So people that believe in the scriptures properly, not according to no Christian doctrine, but according to the true doctrine of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we've been waiting for this stuff to happen due to this prophecy here. Because this prophecy here mentions that this stuff would happen. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. In fact, verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able, and that's really going to happen now. A man desiring to go into a city and not being able, because they ain't even going to have the damn fuel to get there. They ain't going to have the fuel in their car to get there. It's going to be might be too expensive to get there. It's going to be martial law. Martial law can get brought in at any moment to where people can't go to where they want to go. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's the reason that all this stuff's happening, because these people are proud, they're evil, and they're wicked, and they can't go without for 1 second, man. Just recently, the Hebrew Israelites kept the Day of Atonement, but I wonder how many of these people have just for faith's sake gone without for short term. These people will not have a meal for 2 hours and say they're starving. They'll have not have ate food for like a day, and they'll say that they're starving, even though the food, they can actually literally see the food that they're gonna eat for their next meal, but they'll say that they're starving. Or they'll complain if there ain't no McNuggets when they go to the drive-thru at McDonald's, or if there ain't no KFC fries or drumsticks when they go to KFC for a drive-through takeout. They can't do without. These people can't. These people of the world. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbour, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And just look at how people are going on. Just look at how people are going on over fuel. This is how people are going on over fuel. So how much more will people be acting when it's over food? The true animal is going to come out of all of these people, man. There's pictures online of people fighting over this petrol. There's pictures online and videos online of people storing up jerry cans worth, like a full truck's worth, a full boots worth, so like a full boots worth of jerry cans of petrol, just storing it away. But when things get real, people are not gonna just watch as somebody's doing that. That's gonna cause for people to get angry and cause people to be like, nah. So there's gonna be fights at the petrol stations. There might be people getting put to death at the petrol stations because they're sickened by somebody else's greed and they're trying to fill their need of getting what they want. Let me read this little bit here. It says, desperate motorists have even started following fuel delivery drivers to petrol stations, earning the nickname tanker wankers from critics as panic buying continues across the UK, with fights even breaking out at pumps. See, one Twitter user said, my brother-in-law is a lorry driver and delivers fuel. He's on the road now and there are people following him, literally tracking his every turn in cars. He says it's like the end of days. He added, I worried it might be really scary for him, but he thinks they're all knobs. Well, he ain't going to think they're all knobs when a team of people follow him and rob. If a team of people followed him and robbed him for the fuel in there. And that's going to be the same thing for these people that deliver food in trucks as well. They might start getting robbed. Because when things really go down, the true nature of these people is going to come out, man. These people will say that Hebrew Israelites are wicked and Hebrew Israelites are evil for saying that God doesn't love everybody. But they don't love everybody. As soon as a small crisis happens, these people will instantly go to what they really like, stacking up all the toilet rolls, stacking up all the fuel, stacking up all the food. They're hypocrites, man. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. Again, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbour, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So because there's no food, people are going to be doing these things. They're going to be going animalistic, man. They're going to be showing their true nature. Let me read this. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. Because God's bringing a lot upon this place right now. He's bringing a lot upon this place. Let me go to another scripture, 2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 6. In fact, verse 5. For behold, saith the Lord, I'll bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So he's bringing famines of fuel. He's going to bring famines of food. He's going to bring famines of water. He's going to bring famines of brotherly love. And that's going to cause for people to be evil, man. The scriptures also say, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So people ain't going to be feeling sorry for people when they do these things. All those people that filled up their petrol and have got extra spare now, you think they care about the other people that ain't got none? They don't care. All the people that were storing up all the toilet rolls, you think they cared when they were seeing stories about other people that ain't got none? They didn't care. They was like, well, I got some, so I don't care if the other people ain't got none. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So when you're seeing that Yahweh's making these things happen, it's because they're doing more things on the wicked side. Because even though all this stuff's happening right now, somebody told me, I don't know, I'll have to look into it and see. But somebody told me that they were still doing LGBT parades down here in the Midlands, or up here in the Midlands, however you want to say it. They're still doing LGBT parades in the Midlands, even though all of this stuff's going on. So they still ain't learning from their wickedness. They're still trying to dive into their wicked nature, man. And that's why Yahweh's not going to let up on these things, and he's going to cause for even more to happen. He's going to cause for more and more of these things to happen, man. And I'll end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.